Good morning, everybody. Well, I was supposed to be a speaker, then I wasn't supposed to be a speaker, then I was supposed to be a speaker, now I guess I'm a speaker. So I'm a fill-in because the director wanted an hour originally. So I just threw together some quick notes. So in no particular order, and I can't remember what we talked about because I think we skipped a month, didn't we? So I can't remember what we talked about last time. But doc fees, you'll all be happy to know, are just kind of 50% if you didn't already know that or see that for this year. And that's because, you know, the director who was just here, we all know from the local community, he realizes, you know, that your use has been impacted of the lake. So 50% discount on docks. If you got any friends or relatives that camp, 50% off on camping at the state park this year. And shelter houses, you need to have a family reunion, graduation party. The shelter houses on the East Bank will be 50% off also. And then the cabins that we have at the state park are going to be 25% off this year. So if you know somebody that's coming to town to visit, there's some good opportunities for them. The director, and I think Milton touched on it also, but the fishing is just phenomenal. You've heard it over and over again. You've probably seen the pictures in a newspaper. I know last Sunday I called Nancy on her cell phone and said, hey, it's phenomenal. Last Sunday, excuse me, I took a drive out to the West Bank on the south end. And it was just phenomenal. As I drove back there, I seen a guy rabbit hunting, or I seen a truck pulled off, and I heard a beagle barking. So the guy's rabbit hunting, seen a guy jogging, and then we get back there to see all of those trucks and cars and all those ice fishing shanties, and then beyond them, there was some guys goose hunting. So it was just phenomenal to see all the people taking advantage of the lake. So I called Nancy up, talked to her, and I said, there's cars from all over. So then I went back and wrote down license numbers, and we had, people from all different counties here, and even from Indiana, of course. So that's great to hear. The one thing that I don't think anybody mentioned today, you heard Milt jump around and say they were saugeye or walleye. Well, we don't know, to be honest with you. We do not know. As you know, for about, 9 years, we stocked walleye, anything from the little fry, which are 2 eyes and a wiggle, to the fingerlings. And then the last couple of years, we put in saugeye. And those saugeye are what they call triploid. They were pressurized and sterilized, basically, because there's a concern that they could get out and get into Lake Erie through the Miami Canal. And so they were triploided. So actually what happened was Wildlife Officer Garrison called upon the ice fishermen last week to take their carcasses after they removed their meat from them and drop them off the fish hatchery. And they're being sent in for DNA because we want to find out, what are they? Are they saugeye, or are they walleye, or are they both? So that we know what to do moving forward. And I personally hope they're walleye because those are pretty easy for us to do through the fish hatchery down here. But we'll see what they are, and we'll move forward. So also, crappie fishing has been great. The guys through the ice have been catching some big crappies and the bluegills. And remember, our fish consumption is still the same, 1 meal per week. That has not changed. There's a lot of misconception out there. There's people that have personal beliefs that they don't want to eat them. That's fine. Give them to me, I'll eat them. So, but it's 1 meal per week. They've not changed that with everything that's going on. And we've tested and continue to test the fish tissue. So a lot of you have been through the park and you've seen the devastation with the ash trees, right? And basically what happened was we worked with the Division of Forestry, and they brought in what they call their sawyers, which are guys, of course, that take down trees, and they said, we'll come in and help you out, but they said we're going to take them all down because they're all going to die. So that's what we did. So it was a big mess. If you've drove through the park recently, you see we've got the mess pretty much cleaned up. We give the firewood to the public, and that was a great thing. And the brush now we've got piled up, and we're waiting on a grinder to come in and grind that up and make it available then as mulch. So, and some of it we're actually going to take over to Hoagie, to the power plant. So what we're looking for is people to donate trees. We all hate to lose a loved one, but it's part of life. So if you do, and it's a good thing to do, is to think about planting a memorial tree for someone. Put a tree back out there. We do a little plaque with it, so it's there for everybody to see. And then, so you just get with us at the park office, and actually we work with the Lake Improvement on that to keep it out of the state's checkbook so the money doesn't get lost. So if you want to do that, we do that in the spring and in the fall. And so it's a great program, and we do let you choose where you want it to go. If you want to be East Bank, West Bank, Windy Point. So give that some thought, and maybe any of you that get a nice tax return this year, if you don't know what to do with it, come see me, we can help you out. So Milt touched on the dredging, the director touched on the dredging. If you've been out and about, you've noticed over near Rusty Cave on Schroeder Road, right Schroeder and Cone Road, where we pumped before there, the LIA farm. If you've noticed, we got dozers there running again. I think there's 4 dozers and an excavator over there. We're pushing that back up to use that as a retention site again. Back at Rustic Haven, we're going to be pulling the walls up on that to use that again. And then probably the biggest news that we just got is we've entered into an agreement with the Western Ohio Education Foundation, which is an arm of Wright State University, to get the property across on the north side of 703 from the Wright State University to use that property. So that's a little bit longer term, but we will be, we're working on the paperwork on that now and the design. There was just engineers up here this week, but we have entered into an agreement with them. So that's going to be great because that's 40 acres. That's the largest we've ever had next to what we're going to do in the lake. So the dredge program is going to be another aggressive year. Tom unfortunately couldn't be here today. He had a funeral to attend. So we're going to have another good year with that. We're talking about the spring stump removal. So we'll see where water levels are, how things are going, but we made that commitment last fall. We couldn't get out there, so we made the commitment we'll do it this spring. I've talked to Tom Scheib and Tom Gottshaw, our stump gurus, marking gurus, and they're ready to go. So the director touched on the rough fish. We did get 3 brand new rough fish nets, and we've got our old nets, and we're getting ready to bring those guys back on board. You know, hopefully in the March-ish time frame, depending on what Mother Nature does, and get those guys back out there again, and hopefully get that catch ramped up on those rough fish. Couple faces I see here today, Coast Guard Auxiliary. I want to applaud these guys. They've worked their butts off to get a flotilla, right? The flotilla started here, and they've got it done. And if you go back to Windy Point, and that little block building that looked like crap at Windy Point, all of a sudden it got fixed up. It's because of these guys. We entered into an agreement, and that's going to be their home now. They're at Windy Point. So, and that's right next. It's a good fit because it fits into the new boathouse that Montezuma Fire Department just built. So when you drive down there and you see that little block building, and I think you guys will probably be open hours right this year, so they're going to be open, and they'll have a lot of good things going on. So thanks to them for getting that off the ground. It's taken a lot of hard work, and I know they're still actively looking for people that want to join up with them. So they're here today. A couple of guys are up front here if you want to talk to them. So Milt touched on it, the linear aeration. Like he said, I got roped in to join the Slime Alliance just a couple months ago, and President Hux, Glenn Hux, who's part of the LRC and the Mercer County Civic Foundation, I guess he wanted to do his projects to impact the lake, so the Lions Club just voted to do linear aeration through City of Slina, and I think it's going to be at Pullman Bay is where that's going to be. So give some thoughts to that linear aeration. I know Miles is back here today. I see Miles in the back there. Those guys are pretty easy to work with, and estimates are free last I checked, right Miles?
Yes.
So estimates are free. It takes them about 2 days, so it's something to think about, and it does make a difference. Where's Vossler? Right here. It makes a difference. We know that. We've tested Jeff's channel. It can make it does make a big difference. So East Bank Dog Park, some of you hit me up. If you've seen at the East Bank at the first shelter house, we've got fencing up there, and there's a dog park there now. We built the one on the West Bank a couple years ago in cooperation with Salina Rotary. With the City of St. Mary's, we partnership, and we've got one on the East Bank now. We'll be opening that this spring. So that's pretty much what we got going on. We're looking forward to hopefully a good season. So that's my report. Any questions for me? Oh my gosh. The director, you want to get him on the phone, or hopefully these are from Milt. Go ahead.
Hi, Brian.
Good morning.
Hey, is the lake being stocked with fish right now at all? What kinds?
The last commitment we had was that there will be perch.
Yellow perch?
Yes, but there has been no stocking since, hold on, let me look at my cheat sheet.
The reason I ask is...
No, there's been no stock. The last stocking of fish that was done was in 2010. There was about 200,000 triploid saugeye stocked, and that was the last fish that were stocked in the lake.
Is the hatchery over there, are they raising yellow perch?
Yes.
You say there would be plans to put yellow perch in?
That is the commitment we have right now from the Division of Wildlife. They're going to stock yellow perch.
And they would be doing that when?
I'm not a fish guy.
Okay, small fish, small fingerlings, I take it. The reason I'm asking is because I was formerly, we had property around Lake Erie, and the big fish draw was the walleye, of course, and yellow perch. And
Right.
yellow perch is excellent to
Right.
I think actually, sorry, but they're better than any fish that I've gotten out of this lake. So yellow, man, if they put yellow perch in,
We have that commitment, you know, that's our sister division of wildlife is on the yellow perch. But I know right now we want to get these DNA tests back to see whether these were saugeye or walleye, so we can look at that and look at possibly starting that restocking program back up on walleye or saugeye, whichever it may be.
What's the lake level overspill right now?
It's right at, it's just a little over 9 inches this morning. Another question back here, you want to hear the microphone, Dave?
I can talk loud enough. The land owned by the American Legion right down the street, back by Harbor Point Channel,
Right.
to the east of it, dock owners there got letters saying that they've ended their lease with the state.
Right.
And so they're tearing down all those docks. And so, which means we all have to find, and all three of my brothers have docks there, 2 of them built their own docks. So we have to find other places. They said nothing about their intention for the land use or whether they will build docks and rent them in the future. Does anyone here, do you have any clue as to what they're doing?
I do not, no. No. I can talk to you a little bit afterwards and tell you what I do know, okay? Because it just involves you, so. Any other questions? All right, if not, everybody have a great day. Thanks.